final score, Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC, and, again, like last Saturday, mixed feelings. We again are showing that we should be a decent force in the Championship this season, but errors cost us really against West Brom, a side who I think will be right up there at the end of the season. They've got some lovely players, but we gave them opportunities and they punished us in long passages of play. I was absolutely delighted with the way that we were going about things and the way we were playing, but there were some key turning points which went against us. No complaints about that. We failed to take advantage of situations and they did, and as a result we got punished. But yeah, for me, overall, lots to be pleased with, but we got to get that win. Sheffield Wednesday game suddenly feels like a big deal. So, big team news was that Kiefer Moore's fit after that injury last Saturday. And it was great that, because he was up against two proper units in George Campbell and the mighty Nat Phillips, and the battle the latter two had was quite something. Indeed, the battle he had with both centre-backs, because he caused Campbell some real problems that should have cost West Brom. Also, Libby Kakache was not fit, so James McLean continued on the left-hand side, and Ryan Barnett continued on the right, with Ryan Longman now over his knock. And West Brom started well, but didn't really create much. Fellows had a few runs at McLean, but didn't make any real inroads. And it was Wrexham who had the first opportunity. A short corner, well, not a short corner, a clever corner. We penned West Brom into the 6-yard box. Then Matty James hit the ball out to Windass in space with a chance to hit it. And that's, of course, something he's very good at. Didn't get hold of this one properly at all, but the clearance wasn't very good either. And Dobson was able to feed it out to Ryan Barnett, who played in the first of a series of inviting balls in. The keeper, Josh Griffiths, attacked it and missed it. And James McLean, attacking at the far post, just couldn't stretch enough to divert it towards goal, and from about 6 yards out, but like I said, quite wide and struggling to reach it even, his volley couldn't hit the target. West Brom came back at Wrexham though. Carl Glance with a really good run down the left-hand side. Cleworth backing off, the ball pulled in, a deflection spins it out to the far post where 15 yards out Fellows is in space. He hits it first time, he loses his balance luckily for Wrexham, and it whistles over the bar, but it was a decent opening for a talented young player. Wrexham though coming straight back at the other end, Windass feeding out wide, Barnett again there attacking the ball, McLean getting up and winning the header on the edge of the 6-yard box, but a defender jumping with him, and it hits the defender's head and ricochets just over. McLean really looking good, attacking those balls stood up to the far post by Barnett. However, just as Wrexham was starting to get on top of the game, West Brom took the lead. 21st minute, it all felt a little bit easy, if I'm honest. Fellows runs at McLean. McLean tries to back off and contain him by the corner flag, but Fellows pulls the ball back. And there is Price, who starts to move off in the middle of the pitch by working the ball out wide to Fellows, who's made a run through midfield. Nobody's picked him up in midfield. And then has been able to just lurk intelligently about 8 yards out, waiting for the cutback. He finishes it nicely first time across Ward. But again, the centre-backs on the edge 6-yard box, all ball watching. And Dobson, who's sort of run back without picking up a runner, also ball watching, and Price is able to just stand there and pick his spot. Good finish, good pass. But despite that quality, someone needs to take responsibility for that and then take control of it. Wrexham responded really well. Within a minute, it's McLean on the left, ripping in a cross, headed clear. Cleworth picks her up and doesn't need a second invitation. Hits it really well from 25 yards, but it goes over the bar. At the other end, then Furlong drills in a shot which goes wide, is always going wide, but it's the sort of shot that flashes through the 6-yard box. A player tries to lunge and get a touch, the sort of one that if you get a touch, the keeper's got no chance. And so in the closing minutes of the half, Wrexham's still a goal down, but we regain our momentum. And this is really the point, I would say, where George Dobson really starts to become influential. He wins the ball in midfield, finds Lewis O'Brien, who plays a nice return pass. Dobson driving through the middle on the edge of the box, beats his man, and it works a good ball to left. McLean maybe could have taken it across his body and hit it with his left. Instead, he decides to cut inside, drills it with his right foot. He's pulled it. It's creeping inside the left post, and Griffiths does well at full stretch to dive down and push it around the post for a corner. The corner, James sweeps it in. Kiefer Moore leaps brilliantly at the far post, makes terrific contact with it, but can't get on top of it, and it whistles just over the bar. However, that pressure is mounting, and Wrexham don't let West Brom off the hook this time, because a minute and a second after that header's gone over, Wrexham have equalised, and it's a really nice move down the right-hand side. First time passing, Barnett prodding it, good ball down the line. Dobson hooking it on first time to find Moore, and Moore running down the right side, drags Campbell out with him, and then whips the ball into the far post. It's a nice ball. McLean coming inside, it bounces awkwardly and he miscontrols it off his body, but it ricochets to Lewis O'Brien, and what a quality finish for his first goal for Wrexham. It's bouncing at an awkward height, and I'll be honest, in the commentary I don't get excited in the lead up to it, because I'm thinking, oh, it's an awkward one. That's just like McLean's the ball he couldn't really take cleanly. He's going to have to tame that, by which point the defenders will all be swarming around him. But instead he hits it first time on the bounce, drills it into the ground to make sure he keeps it down, and of course that has the added bonus of the ball hitting the ground and bouncing upwards, which makes it difficult for the keeper when it goes down then up, and it goes in, and Wrexham are level. And I've got to be honest, at half time I'm feeling that we look the more likely winners here. We've finished the half strongly, we're looking dangerous when we come forwards, and we start the second half very well. In fact, we have a massive chance, and this is one of those big turning points after just 31 seconds. I should say that after half an hour, Dean Windass pulls up holding his hamstring and has to go off. Let's hope that he feels it and he goes off and it's not too bad, because we can't afford to be lacking Dean Windass. Of course, we do have an exciting replacement on the bench. Nathan Broadhead comes on for his debut, and he has this huge chance, like I said, 31 seconds into the second half. Again, it's Moore pulling out wide, this time chasing Campbell, who looks to run it behind for the goal kick. Terrific tackle by Moore, and he looked back at it, he really snakes his leg round and jams his back heel down on the ball. It's a totally clean tackle, and the ball spins down the goal line. Moore is up quickly, faster than Campbell, pulls it back to the edge of the box. A delicious touch by Lewis O'Brien, just a little flick with the inside of his foot, and Broadhead has an absolutely glorious opportunity. 15 yards out, keeper's not set, he can pick his spot, he does, but he puts it just wide of the post. It's a hell of a chance, and Wrexham will be punished ultimately for not taking it. West Brom at this point are not really taking control of things, although Styles comes forwards, cuts in from the edge of the box, hits a curler off target. They threaten massively from corners. They have 4 corners in the first 20 minutes of the second half, and Nat Phillips makes first contact on all of them and heads them towards goal. And considering the huge threat he is, that's really something that, having not addressed with the first one, we needed urgently to deal with and didn't manage to. The fourth one is the one that causes the biggest problem. He heads it into the goal mouth. There's a scramble, and Furlong, from really close range but wide of the post in a tight angle, hits a shot which appears to hit West Brom player in the goal mouth, ricochets back out to Furlong, who hits it again first time into the side netting. Wrexham lucky to survive, lucky as well, because, like I say, we're causing a problem by failing to adjust to Phillips's availability on these lofted far post set pieces. We, 3 minutes later, though, have a chance from a corner as well. James putting it in, and Cody getting up just outside the 6-yard box, free header, puts it wide. Again, he's frustrated that he doesn't manage to hit the target. With 20 minutes left, we rotate the right wing backs. Barnett's played really well. Longman comes on and immediately is looking lively, although it's Dobson who tees up the next opportunity. 17 minutes left, whips a great ball in from the right. Broadhead loses his man, and about 8-9 yards out, just misjudges and misses his header. He's so angry with himself, especially for Wrexham, because a minute later, well, from the goal kick, West Brom are ahead. There's more to dig into with this as well, because straight after that missed header by Broadhead, West Brom make a double sub. On come Wallace and Johnson, and they have an instant impact. Long ball played forwards. Hegebo backs into Cody and works it inside. Johnson, it's 3-on-3. The two subs and Hegebo against 3 Wrexham centre back. So again, you sort of feel we're a little bit exposed here. Wallace makes a tremendous run. He's playing on the right at the start of the move, but he runs across the back three. He runs behind them, offside, so that they can't pick him up, and he just curves his run back in time. Johnson holds on long enough, and when he feeds it in, it's a tight offside, but he is just onside. And Wallace takes a touch in the left channel, drills it into the near post. Now, although we have been opened up by the 3 attacking players, it should still be saved. It's a tightish angle. He hits it the near post, but Ward goes awkwardly for it with his right foot and misses it. And it's 2-1. Wallace has scored 13 seconds after play restarted, after he and Johnson came on. And Wrexham are stunned. We make a chance 4 minutes later, mind, from a free kick. O'Brien again with really good delivery to the far post. Cleworth heads it wide from about 4 yards out. I think he's unsighted. It comes through a crowd, but it's a chance. We then go hell for leather and bring Sam Smith on with 10 minutes left for Matty James. And within a minute again, we've conceded. This time Broadhead loses the ball in midfield. To be fair to him, though, Wrexham get their shape back, and so it's not instantly costly. But we get opened up. A really nice run going inside in the gap between McLean and Brunt opens us up, and the ball is pulled back to the edge of the area. Hegebo misses it. A really horrible mistake. Just jabs at it. He's about 7 yards out. A great chance. Simple finish. And he completely mishits it. And it goes off at right angles out to the left wing. But Wallace is the player who runs and retrieves it. And then, quite frankly, the issue here is ball watching again, I'm afraid. The back 3 are in position on the edge of the 6-yard box. But Grant again holds that nice position about 7 yards out. Dobson again is close to him but hasn't picked him up in time. And Wallace just dinks on a nice ball. Grant just runs in between them all and has a simple free header from close range and heads it home. And Wrexham are 3-1 down. It all goes weirdly quiet in the racecourse. Normally the fans will still be roaring, looking for that crazy comeback, which we have done so often. It all goes very, very quiet though, and we try to get a head of steam going, but we struggle to until the end of the 4th added minute, and there are only 4 minutes added on, when we pull a goal back. And this one is all about Longman sweeping a great ball into the far post, Smith diving full stretch and heading it into an empty net. He grabs the ball. Wrexham run back to try and restart quickly, but the only thing there's time for is for Smith to pick up an absolutely ludicrous yellow card. A poor decision by the ref. I mean, the footage of the game zooms in on it. The game is from the restart, Smith tries to sprint through to put pressure when the ball's played straight back to the goalkeeper Griffiths, and the West Brom player, I think it was Malumbi, was it, who just grabs hold of him. No attempt doesn't just step across and try and make like an answer, just manhandles, grab hold of him. Smith desperately wriggling to try and push him off, which he's totally entitled to do, but then in doing so, you know what's coming next. His hand flicks his face, Malumbi goes down like he's been shot, and the referee comes across and bucks Smith. Absolutely stinker of a decision from a ref who actually played the rest of the game well, but he couldn't have seen the build up to it, and he couldn't have seen the contact from Smith properly because it's nothing. And the game goes to the end. I mean, I've got to say, West Brom, like I said, are class. You could see quality throughout their team. But it was their quality in taking advantage when we switched off that made the difference in the match. We were able to carry the game to them, and I felt that all in all, we were their equals. but we conceded poor goals, and we have really got to cut that out. If we do so, we're a force in this league, but we need to do so. With the final score of Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.